Hey, what's up guys? This is Tarek here. So this is the Magene PES P515 crank-based power meter. This is actually just an empty box. The actual power meter is already installed on my bike. So the P515 is Magene's latest powder-based power meter that was announced just a few months ago. It is an update to their previous power meter, the P505, which I reviewed on this channel, and I was honestly impressed by that power meter. Magene sent me this one to test, and I have been riding with it for a while now. And yeah, we've got some stuff to talk about, so let's dig in. Now, here's what makes this power meter special. It is only priced at $300 US, and if you want to add a chain ring to it, the total cost comes to $374 US. The P515 uses a 24mm spindle, so it is compatible with Shimano bottom brackets, and if you are running a Shimano group set, installation is pretty simple. It's just a matter of swapping out your old crankset and replacing it with this new one. The power meter measures both power and cadence and broadcasts via AM+ and Bluetooth, or at least it's supposed to. Magene claims plus minus 1% accuracy and includes left-right power balance and pedal smoothness metrics. It also supports automatic calibration and active temperature compensation, so you do not need to mess with it every time the condition change. It's one of those products that once you install it, you kind of just forget about it. Now, you can connect the power meter to a head unit like a Garmin Edge or a Wahoo Element Bike computer using AM+ or Bluetooth. AM+ has worked for me flawlessly. However, I have run into some issues using Bluetooth. So the initial connection works okay and it broadcasts data fine. However, in subsequent rides, it will connect. However, nothing is broadcasted using Bluetooth, so I had to switch to AM+. And like I said, AM+ worked for me okay, no issues with it whatsoever. I have communicated this issue with Magene, and they are looking into it, and hopefully they will release a fix using a firmware update, and I'll update you guys in the comments once that happens. The internal rechargeable battery is rated for up to 330 hours, which is a nice bump from the previous model's 200 hours. I have only had to charge mine once so far since I got it, and it's still going strong. It is also IPX7 waterproof, meaning rain and sweat are not going to be a concern. Crank length that you can get with this power meter range from 165mm to 175mm. And if you do not want to reuse your old chain ring, Magene sells one for an extra $74. And the power meter, along with a 170mm crank length, comes in at 625 grams. And once the power meter is installed, you will need to activate it using the Magene utility app. The app lets you calibrate the power meter, adjust scaling, and do firmware updates and other settings. Now, I had great results with the previous P505 model, and the P515 did not disappoint either. Now, let's dive into actual ride data, because at the end of the day, that's what really matters with a power meter, right? Okay, starting with an indoor ride to establish a baseline, I compared the Magene P515 to two other power meters that I trust, the Osceola Duo pedals and the Wahoo Kicker. In the first segment, all three reported around 259 watts, so that is a solid start. And in this 15-minute effort section, we had to ignore the Osceola data because of a random AM+ drop in the first couple of minutes of this section. But the Kicker and Magene kept rolling together, and the power difference between them was just 1.5 watts. And once Osceola came back after 2 minutes, the Magene was within 2 watts of the pedals and still within 1.5 watts of the Kicker. So that's very close. In the final section of that ride, and here I was just rolling along in a group ride, the data looked very clean across the board. And if we zoom into this one sprint, both the Osceola and Magene hit 937 watts. Identical numbers. That's what I like to see when looking at two different power meters. Now outdoors, and to see how well the P515 holds up outdoors, I paired it with the Osceola Duo again for a side-by-side comparison on a ride with mixed efforts. Over this 23-minute segment, the average power was nearly identical. You really cannot ask for much better than this, especially from a power meter at this price point. And if we zoom into the sprint effort, the Magene peaked a bit higher here, 829 watts versus 770 watts. That's not unexpected. It is common to see some variation in max sprint power between crank and pedal-based power meter because of sensor placements and the way it reads or measures that data. But even here, the Magene P515 held its own. There were no dropouts, no lags, and no data issue. The slight overread on the peaks here may just be how this unit handles sharp power spikes, but still paints a very usable picture for training. So overall, the Magene P515 is just a solid power meter. It was very easy to install and worked right out of the box, and I was actually pleasantly surprised when I tested the previous P505 model, and the P515 builds on that accuracy with better battery life and a slight improvement in power. Magene has managed to bring a competitive power meter here to the market at a price that's really tough to beat, and without cutting any corners or features. You're still getting ANT+ and Bluetooth, and hopefully they address the Bluetooth issues, left, right balance, power balance data, auto calibration, temperature compensation, and solid accuracy. And for $300, you're getting a well-rounded power meter that competes with unit twice the price. So if you've got a Shimano setup and you are in the market for a power meter, I would definitely give the Magene P515 a serious look. I'm impressed and would not hesitate to recommend it. So that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching, and if this video helped you, go ahead and give it a like, share with a friend, and if you have not subscribed yet, you know what to do. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.